Damn, bro, y'all gotta give me a second. Diddy going to jail, and he probably knocked off Tupac. That's insane. Y'all gotta bear with me. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to the early morning hustle show, where I'm here to test your patience and your intelligence. So let's tap in. But before we tap in today, I just want y'all to know that most of today's show is gonna be about the dealer. Let's go.
Announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
It's recurrent and widely known. Why did it take law enforcement so long to intervene? How many women were victimized by Sean Combs, and how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long. I think the better focus is on the fact that we are here today. And we are committed to making sure that justice is done. Next question.
Thank you. Julia Ainsley, NBC.
Thank you for doing this. You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Janet Fisher, Newsday.
Yeah. What's the difference between the sex trafficking and promoting travel for the purpose of prostitution?
Well, there are different crimes with different elements. I don't think we should get into the nitty-gritty of the legal discussion right now.
Woo, child. Let me tell you, bruh. Like, so it's certain things that I think about in life. So where was I when Michael Jackson died? Where was I when Prince died? Where was I when Kobe Bryant passed? Where were you during the Twin Towers? Where were you when they arrested Diddy, bitch? Where your ass was at when you first heard the news? Bro, I was laying in my bed. And so, first off, Diddy a human, and so we're going to always take a moment of silence for his mental health, because and it's unplanned for us, and we eating popcorn and we tea, but just devil's advocate. If I can, if I should, if I shall, politically incorrect, if we will. But what if he did do all of that shit and then change? Do we not have remorse for a man who experienced life and then realized things were, how he was acting was improper and decided to turn his life around? Is there no room for redemption? And this is my other very politically incorrect thought. And I'm not victim shaming, but just like in the Nickelodeon scandal. And one thing that I realized, how much accountability do we put on? We're not, first off, I'm going to be clear. We're not taking anything away from a victim, because a victim is a victim is a victim. And I was a victim before. However, in order to get out of this victimhood, I had to take accountability. So my question is, and I understand everybody took accountability. That's why they been sued XYZ. And if I'm going to grant him grace, I can grant them grace and all this. But I'm going to ask the question, like, you was cool with it until you didn't get your way. You was cool with it until you didn't get your pay. And I know that's fucked up to say, but hey, it's the truth, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people went along with it to get something out of it. And I think as a, not as a villain advocate, but as a villain advocate, you wanted this. You asked for this and you came to this. Now, I'm going to say those people are responsible for him getting as bad as they did, because then that boy had got out of hand. He had started because ain't nobody, the first time he did that nut shit, ain't nobody punch him in his shit. You know what I'm saying? The second time, power unchecked. That's what P. Diddy is. That's power unchecked. That's why you got to check power. That's why you can't let the person with the most money rule everything. Just because they got the most money, you got to be able to let that bitch go. It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. And you got to be not weak enough to sell your soul for an extra $100,000. It was cool for all of the perks, and that's why you was there in the first place. But then it didn't start to feel so good. But then you was in too deep, like fucking LL Cool J. Not victim shaming, understanding. But damn, bro, y'all gotta give me a second. Diddy going to jail, and he probably knocked off Tupac. That's insane. Y'all gotta bear with me. This could take a bit. And one thing I know, because my best friend had went to the feds. When the feds got you, when the feds run down on that boy, when the feds there, it's done. It is done. It is finished. The only person who might get away from the feds, and I don't think the feds, because I don't think they in federal court, is Young Thug. Is they in federal court? I don't know, but they gonna get away with that probably because just the judges was tainted. But you don't look up like that. Like, bitch, this ain't a box of Lucky Charms. It don't happen like that too often, bruh. And so one thing I'm worried about Diddy, I'm worried about his mental health. Is they gonna Epstein him? Is he gonna go missing? Is he gonna not? You know what I'm saying? What, like I was listening to Megan. What about the children? What about the children, boy? So these are all the things, but that boy going away for good. Either is there redemption in the villain? That's the real question. I think Young Miami would think so. All right. Speaking of the feds, what are you talking about? What? What you say?
She said she fucking with me tonight. I'm sucking that dick with ice.
Hey.
Nice and tight tonight. Who no bring that pipe? Said she bout it. The bitch I'm bad it. Oh, is you bout it?
You say?
Bitch I'm bad it. Yeah, killing the pussy. Bitch, I got battles on battles.
Bruh, he gone for good. he gone for good. Shout out to fucking Pee Wee Longway, bruh. I love you, Pee Wee. My ex-fiance put me on Pee Wee. That nigga was a real gangster too. I don't know how. We're not gonna talk about that. I had went down a rabbit hole, but all right, Pee Wee, it's over for you, my boy. Boy, you made some good music. I'm gonna run all of your shit, and I'm still gonna play my wedding hashtag is still gonna be hashtag lituation. All right, next. Quick conspiracy corner, but do y'all think that like other big artists are gonna get caught up in this P. Diddy shit, like Beyonce and Jay-Z? All right, now we go on to politically incorrect. Yeah, Trump had another assassination attempt, and that shit was insane. They said this dude stood outside where the photographers and the reporters will usually be, but they got Trump out the way. But y'all, did y'all see what Elon Musk tweeted though? Bitch, look. At this point, it has to be a setup, because what? And happy Tarot Testimony Tuesday. Don't forget to say what the fuck you grateful for, and don't be like Elon.